Nana, Mama, now I say 5 minutes after 11. I feel we're joining any Kessben Suni. We are back again. As we await the Electoral Commission, Nana said, or did the final declaration, no, Ebebano. We just giving you certain things. Ebetimi abuao. Once you are home, once you are take no obe home. Why have Ghanaians voted for John Dramani Mahama and NDC? We'll tell you more about it. Parties in the meeting obia the promises and in the manifesto ebaye. But currently, what is happening now is what I'm about to take you through. Now, you go so yedi nkomo haya no me hu say this particular document maybe betri mo dia ma ono a document ashasia go viral. Okay. You see, Ghanaians as massive as we want to diama NDC, from Endro Anajo eba besi anopei, okay, yakin kind document we've read through, but I've seen say Ghana for na ashasia circulate. What it means, and they say one more best at take boxes, one after the other.
Scrutinize them.
And scrutinize it. And by your words, and I yaji wanu munsemayede atumwa yadi atu abano massively at the amount. Yeah. Now we are going back to track enema wokan and then vis-a-vis as the day comes by, ye be compare near who say ye make progress and now ye make retrogression. Now Richard Yanko will take you through. So this is Mahama's Tubwase. Okay, so Mahama's first 120 days social contract with the people of Ghana, and that is the heading. Mahama's first 120 days, okay, social contract with the people of Ghana, resetting Ghana, okay, jobs, accountability, and prosperity. They're building the Ghana we want. And this is a policy document. Now, these are extracts. And what the NDC's manifesto indicating I mean, within the first 120 days, okay, and John Dramani Mahama say obey. First 120 days, then we are talking about hopefully the first quarter of the year, which is 4 months, right? Okay. Okay, so number one, nominate with the first within the first 14 days. Okay, nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. Okay. Just like Nana Danko Ekufuado buy ya no ye nyan declare yo hu se wa win ne kra no no ani fi ho no the podium ne bibia de si ho no start announce it. Yeah, it was very interesting, or announce it the ministers office obetumi omo aye adwuma. Nana did something beautiful. Wofa Alanche Martin no ready Alanche Martin profile nyina no de actually say adwuma no de hye nsa no or you competent enough to do it. Now within the first 120 days, John Mahama said within the first 2 weeks, yes, swear ni in we dinisia konyaso na watwe mienu pepepe SSA utimi eyi ne ministers and deputy ministers are when you mobeye adwuma nyina within 14 days and nominate within the first 14 days the complete list. And by that time, you have no. In fact, Waba Muda, why president, when the ministers were near Muye Juma, when you want more be you more free, and one more bit with you more become. And see, Nefuano Makuma could do nice, now SSS list, necessary young Jumano, why you need now Juma at the Aquaco Mamra Sibidano, said Wamunche, now after the appointment committee, what you say, and Tenase and to Sanko for Nano, now one more approve a Jew Mutuma, one more to me about the ministers. The Kaya John Mahama so obey. Number two, or say constitute the leanest and most efficient government. You underline the leanest. I'm coming. Under the Fourth Republic, in my first 90 days in office. Yes. Good. And see, Oka said the leanest government, government, I feel here for me. Yeah, for me, government, obey ministers. Okay? We you ministers, we are obey deputy ministers. We you deputy ministers, we are obey appointed MMDCs. Okay? MMDC is, it is not so okay linears now. I don't understand. MMDC is. Any idea about me be free? We have over 260, I don't know. Yes, 260 districts and municipalities plus metropolis across the country. And I don't know 260, a constant. Won't mean you being free and I won't mean for being a day. Yeah. na now to was here and see I don't know then aside say where ye wo ministers with deputy ministers with MCEs with DCEs, you know, okay, you still have the responsibility of appointing chief executives and then heads of institutions ahodo ni nyina bind there enti sa enkrofoni nyina no appointment no yes over 7,000 appointments. And now, in this case, the word linears, you know, what does it mean? Are we going to see an amalgamation? Say, I mean, agencies, libi or what? Shall buy ministries, Nasia Yebekika, Komo, the Abomuana. Because clearly, offer agency meeting say NEIP. Over a NEP, right? Maybe for soon cancer one. Any the National Youth Employment Agency, mean what the Fufrubia Omunai. Everybody just say, if we are here, yes, National Youth Employment Agency, woman in training crop for your models. You did training crop for what you say, youth in afforestation, youth in police, youth in why. What you say, you really and your quality NEIP. Say woman emra the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. And only yet here. One more modus operandi, a Juma SSI agency ni yeno. And the Youth Employment Agency no air yeno. Difference very. Plus the National Youth Authority and so on. And it's a more champion youth focused programs. A betimi abeye a stopgap measure. Okay? A dear. Then what is really the problem here and they church ade ni mun kitten sa e we as yakura NEIP na a training kaya yofoi me I feel strongly say adwuma ni omo adwuma youth employment agency for adwuma what you say so such an agency probably as I see ade ni nyina aye den ebom ba akopɛ funding ye bepe dia mo ani apɛ funding ni dia aye den e dia mo no mo timi aye omo adwuma so the word linears and most efficient, you know. I feel that is the angle it has to go. And
so we'll be looking at
we'll be watching it. We'll be looking at it. Agencies need to who in here as I say okay. Ministry of Railways, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Aviation crowd they say I said the American transport. We need to bring the railways back to transport because railways, you know, resort, you know, Aquacusi say. Why should we allow that ministry to stay there? What I say? I have heard the conversation so baby said the Ministry of Communication and the Ministry of Information. What really is the difference? I've what I say. And you know, why don't we have information or communications ministry bringing everything together? What I say? Yeah. So you know, say a time on John Mahama time on Ovozuko actually your friend is saying Omanebo Amamunina were the communications ministry, and then you had government spokespersons near the then this government came and then they separated. Now a year fisheries ministry as a whole ministry on its own, agencies
aside and Greek.
What did I say? Aside. So you have that a Greek day. So you need to bring that one back. You merge them. So merger no ebeba. Then we look at how agencies need to be how efficient the work will be. Now, third point was establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. I mean, this is a policy document. And you know, that one should be simple. Now, number 4, also hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. And I think this thing will be most efficient. And this is where, for me, my interest is. What I say now, Unim say NDC has done this point before. What more you be that? Century consensus. One more for political parties need to say, hey, baby, economy na do ya remanaka do be. Muma ye nyina ya metina se na ye discuss it. Ye ko ye nim no ye budget no say necessary economy. So this particular number 4 point, you know, very important to look out for. And John Mahama said within 120 days, as I said, organizes our national economic dialogue. No, now after you bring everybody on board. Now, a car ya postponing debt restructuring program. Bilateral creditors are one more yesika. woman you know more going to negotiations near the end the dialogue of it will happen here, and that is point 4. Richard Young Choice. And when you know, don't forget, it is within the first 120 days. Richard Mami, the next point. Then you come to point 5. Was it within my first 90 days in office, scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardships and ease the high cost of living, the high cost of doing business. One, to say the African policy within first 90 days. Bosumi miensa pepe pemu. What the missy akonya so na me ba. Acha ya bosumi miensa. Ye levy no. May ye at the free home. Okay, ye levy no may ye the free home. Doctor Baumia so kaso no so ba obey ye levy free home. And no na African policy abisa say DNT Doctor Baumia promise. So be ye levy free home. Na aka few months me akoto banana na do entbi enye free home. Fi sa time no be si time ayi ubefra akonya so be levy no ahene de beba enti nsusuemu no na je say sa policy we amoma ne tina hoyi edi Dr. Baomi abro no that is what it means. Enti levy will go COVID-19 levy ebeko, okay,
gone long time ago.
COVID no mo say atwam
long time ago.
I mean if we are seeing na declare say COVID bia ne ba bia bia yegusu tua COVID levy uto nsuo kura no ma utua COVID levy ukoton lunch credit utua COVID levy. Yet womu wi say COVID ne buy womo che niema free. Adi nso mo gisika ya gusu age. Nsuo kakra mo de che ye free. COVID levy no ebeko. Then 10% on betting winnings and emission levy. Ni nyina abeko. What you say? And it is very easy. I mean, you would have to law now establishes anima way in no ube clear ni na e de afi and ye ade a e dey say ube to be aye. Now within my first 90 days in office, review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. So that one can be done.
It's feasible.
It's feasible. It's achievable.
Yeah.
And we are looking at John Mahama promises, within the first 120 days. Now, point 7, commence drafting needed legal amendments and prepare for implementing the 24-hour economy policy under the office of the president. And I think this is another important point.
Yeah.
And you see, so Utie John Mahama promises now, a feasible. Now, people were asking, say, also be a 24-hour economy. The NPP were saying, say, 24-hour economy, no kwa muankasa modemo policy by Montiasi. Montiasi because Muntimin Chiremu ye, Magana for Ntiasi. Okay? Then the last interview at John Mahama and the BBC, the presenter asked him the same question. And he was like, but you once upon a time interviewed Nana Danko Ekufuado. We interview no catch us obey free SHS. As at that time, Krano Acoste, or to make sure the free SHS, ebe Costiana, a queer number was he able to tell you. But John Mahama said, oh no, within the first 120 days, okay, drafting a choir policy the befaso I be implementing. So the real document, the blueprint, I be pessoa, ye be implementing the 24-hour economy within the first 120 days, we be prepare our document, the blueprint, na ye the abana Ghana for your shas ye the whole encobo, and that is it. And I mean clearly, say utmi yes then it means that we are achievable and idea din bia. And the document in the betre modalities companies who babe can who be signing on and faswa who benya abine the other be meters be free aba. Ni will be part of this document. And the thinking on how I won't be implementing 24-hour economy will be here. And that is point 7. Richard, you caught the other one. Now, all these promises should be achieved within the first 120 days. Now, the point 8 says establish an accelerated export development council to promote exports as part of a broader strategy for economic transformation. Okay, so I don't know. This one is not difficult. We'll put it together. People are free, so we're expert when it comes to trade, both import and export. Now, I feel more making sure say council for me we are. Okay, whether by legislative instrument or whatever, yeah, them run it actually a year we are. I mean, you by then
export and
you promote export. I mean, very feasible and achievable. Okay, then point 9, convene a national consultative conference on education. Another important point. Convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on needed improvement to the sector. So this is where free SHS comes in.
Exactly.
And David Oforia Champon, aiding Komo through the interview. No? He said, okay, said John Mahama say Oba before obe touchy free SHS, obey review biano, obey the friend national dialogue. This is it. And only a 0.8. And John Mahama obey a national conference. Parents, schools, no parent associations, Nina Beba. PTA chairpersons, Munina Mubeye invited. Then a ban of teacher unions, Ubia contribution, conference when you beje, Sadi money in our then we are. I've been training in Ano. Then we now decide on how I be proceed here. Free SHS and it's a review be beba a bit me aba. And I think this is not a dear danger what will be to me within the first 120 days. The promises are, I mean, very measured, reasonable, so you can see say achievable. Say wanya no ebia or person 1 year. And that is it. Over point 10 was say implement no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions, universities, colleges of education, and then nursing training institutions, etc.
Hanona issues in the because
issues in the because
exactly you will fall on
exactly. So the question is that the next academic year, and necessary we no roll out. Now next academic year never started that being started September. Going okay, so August September 2025 and the next academic year never started. Now we are in the 2024-2025 academic year, the first term or semester of that academic year from February or January. Schools may be in January or February. Equa the Kosi May, okay, will be the second semester. Then you have June, July, August for the long vacation. Tertiary students will be 3 months, you know. If you hold the internship near there. So hopefully, all person will implement this policy. As I said, starting with the 2025-2026 academic year. So I see preparation towards that main academic year. No, as I said, what you say?
I don't even say sikasemo.
Sikasem. So I'm saying that you have from January, your best where we're in January 7th, 2025, between January and September. Okay, you are promising so within the first 120 days, which is 4 months. So February, March, April, May, June, or better still, ending of April, you should be able to set out your modalities ahead of academic year here in September, no? So that then you now begin to look for the source of funding. What the best idea?
That's the thing.
That's it. And you know, I mean, the NDC has a critical work to do when it comes to year point 10. Now, Richard, let's go to the other ones. Now, I feel you are joining in here. This is Kessben, 92.9, 93.3, Kessben TV, Asida TV. We are live across all platforms. Now, we are taking a critical look at the first 120 days in office for John Mahama and then the NDC. Now, point 11 says, introduce the following social interventions. Free tertiary education for persons with disabilities. Okay, the Ghana Medical Care Trust, Mahama Cares Fund. Okay, so the Mahama Care member now affect certain chronic diseases national health insurance no and capture no or the friend of Mahama Care no ebeba obe launching that program na wo mo apɛ foto bi de ato hɔ no ma wo yare na wo sa situation ni mu a ubetumi enya wo ho aye den atete na de omo aye ne nansanya aka ho dialysis for no it was part of the promise under the Mahama Cares program. Then also free tertiary education for persons living with disability. And only achievable and Krofua, I mean, one more nibi, one more bro, I mean, one more did them near Diano. John Mahama say qualify now be tertiary area. A free at the mouth. Source of funding no sikano e be free anaba but yet they are implementing such a policy. Will it be from the GET fund or the student loan trust or where exactly are we picking the money to say they implementing free tertiary education for persons living with disability?
The thing is it is what you come and find in the coffers.
And I bet you
because that's 120 days. You've not really started to roll things yet. So what will happen is that you rely on what is in the coffers, unless there is any source of funding, I be fee any other places. Because when you come in 120, they're very early in the, I don't know, very early stages. So I'm wondering, let's see how they go about this.
Okay, and then point 12, you come to a year, I say, commence the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. I think this is achievable, right? Okay, and that is that. Then point 13, institute inquiries and a forensic audit into the following matters of public interest. And Hana for Krum and I had the chasing Crawford Omolang Cruises woman.
Interesting.
Interesting times ahead.
I tell you.
One, the collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion Ghana cedis. I don't know one. Now you remember, say John Mahama promises Oba share banks are a good yenimu. Why yanfa kwan papas we bank, wo savings and loans or microfinance, yanfa kwan papas with the good no. Say NDC for the license man back, on beside their man back. Because to them, women believe we say Ghana Numa SSC good. Because even at the time I hear good banks, government told us, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Attaka said we needed 9 billion Ghana cedis to resuscitate the banks. Now womunye juma ye. And I see there be 9 billion in San Koshemu because the Adikoshemu Crown Crofwedi directors in the Bobo free more womuntia. For that reason, you best spend 25 billion Ghana cedis. And John Mahama says it was too outrageous. So over 16 billion additional costs now they better or minus just to kill or collapse a business. Wabra says our business so and can be found na ejuma.
Yeah.
So he doesn't see the sense in that. For that reason, the promise is say obey forensic audits. Now we initiate inquiries and we move mapa. And because so kwanya wo mo fa so the 25 billion Ghana cedis. Egu banks, wow, you would have to account for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Emrano will have to deal with you. And see, that is that promise. Now, illegal printing of money, the $58 million National Cathedral scandal. I said, I know, $58 million you're spending on investigations, Now, illegal and inflated single source contract. Contractor yanye open tendering. Okay, now ye near yet assessment. Yes, yeah, the money per back on company way. Mono ebeba. COVID-19 expenditure. COVID buy and when him say the Auditor General audit of the COVID-19 expenses. Sa document okay. So he is saying COVID-19 expenditure scandals are who do I buy even the Auditor General capture the government will begin to investigate it. Wow, who won't be asemwato PDS a Japan deal, SML ambulance spare parts deal, 13th African Games SkyTrain saga over $2 billion and you try for SkyTrain as you engineer Palugu Dam, okay, mat sets, galamsey fraud, missing excavators and tricycles, okay, Sputnik V, COVID-19, now John Mahama I make way point 13 Bust scandal after being well was Lucy the seat to be any and answer be quiet. Bust scandal now you do you wake up away the NDC is promising to investigate it. Wow. I mean, you are related, found of wrongdoing, I dare say prosecution because and others. And this is the 13th promise. Now, achievable.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Achievable. Achievable. Yes, some of them will require funding, like 120. That's what I'm saying. It will depend on what you find in the coffers for you to put some of them.
Then, point 14, institute a government policy banning political appointees from purchasing state assets. I don't know, he was very clear. Say, and was indeed there will be a government policy, deliberate government policy, or not buying more, woni akwanya bia say okoto dan koto asase bia wo ba bia ompe feeling keka wa bia with the fact say aban mu mpanyimfo sisi nkrofo je omon sase ne ade te say de yehu in the past few years e won kran ha no and near point 14 now point 15 allocate seed money for the establishment of the Women's Development Bank.
They mention it a lot.
Okay, and that is it. This is the promise. I want the man has to ababi baby ama almost Women's Bank neighbor and my dready bodra and one more better banker. Okoji loan wo hono ma interest no wo form pa. O de koye dwuma ni nyina na wo twa ne kakrakra. O se emra ebeboa ma Women's Bank no womo atimi ate no womo ehase aye ho enhyehyɛ no na afei sika ebetimi aboa ma bank no atimi aba no womo atimi aye ni nyina and your point 15 now point 16 launch the following priority job creation programs in the first budget. And what it means is that in the first budget, we should expect that there will be funding allocation for a Jumawura program, okay, national apprenticeship program, and a 1 million coders program. Okay, John Mahama say we'll be training youth, 1 million of them on how to code IT systems near there. And we should appear in the first budget, and that is point 16. The next one, 31 minutes after 11. Now, point 17. I say commence the review of Customs Amendment Act 2020 to scrap the law banning the importation of salvage cars. Okay, so buying no cars, cars are 10 years. Abroso no, untime enkra money idea. Was so be making sure say Parliament ne be amended the Customs Act. A ban sa near mano. Now afetimi allow. Now I say vehicles to rescue the local automobile because dealers a ton cars no they say won't even fast cars ne ba brand new cars e ba Ghana for need to mention
so magazine
for no company ade wo mu nyina adwuma akofom because se cars ne ma spare part dealers ne so entimi nya den en crash spare part no enfam ma so that is part of it and no point 17 18 or see lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline government scholarship administration, okay? Prohibit political appointees from assessing government scholarships and eliminate political patronage, cronyism, nepotism, and corruption in awarding government scholarships. Obekai, the NPP government, yes, in Crawford scholarships near dear Bibre,
scholarship scheme, issues behind
Bibre. John Mahama said he will streamline things with a scholarship. 19, ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves. I had an interest in Wapa because I will be more than a bulldozer with this particular promise. Yeah, but yes, yeah, will be we will come at you. John Mahama is promising that he will end the galamsey, especially in the forest reserves. Okay, forest now, galamsey woman. John Mahama promising what point 19 say obetu sani manase, and then he will not even allow new mining activities in the forest reserves. And you need to be on the lookout. Now, the promise after so why they will say roll out our Tree for Life and Blue Water Initiative to heal and to sustainably harness the environment by turning areas and water bodies degraded by illegal mining into economic and ecological recovery hubs. I mean, this promise is fantastic. But we are watching because we need to know how our implementation now. Point 20, launch the Black Star Experience, and only a creative art for launch the Black Star Experience initiative as Ghana's flagship culture, art and tourism brand to transform Ghana into a preferred tourism destination. And they say you were dirty December beyond the return and the account the year of return by year beyond the return they say John Mahama said, I mean, Black Star Experience, remember, you been your fashion week, you been your movie, and they are seeking to implement that. Now, 21, commence investigative processes to purge state security agencies of all militia and vigilante elements. Allah.
That's a crucial thing. Anyway,
Yes,
it's very important. I know, sir. 21.
21 is critical.
It's critical. Yeah.
Now, you see, and you might even document the one Kaya on John Mahama said police service, immigration service, the military, okay, customs, any security agencies, he believes that NPP for the one party boys, as you say, more. Amma one the security agencies needing someone, but the question is that NDC Monso mobile fan Crawford.
So we're scrutinizing it.
Okay. And John Mahama said, what will be scrutinizing the already existing forces? Why would the Equamboni be sube ma when you're qualified? No, you be you ready. And the no, dear, side naturally. I don't know, but Monso more Fabia we will come to that. The last 2 points, 25, initiate immediate steps to compensate the flood victims. Okay. Now, the okay in the Volta region, no, flood in Akosombo Dam now is spilling over now. Ekosen Crawford nearby no. NDC can say a binding to your compensation be a massa and Crawford Sika. As I say, ye dema womo and near say ye womu fee essay ye near the ending no or say or better taking steps na sikas are buying editorial woman womo to me etia, including those in the Oti, Bono East and Savannah regions. Equiafua womo no buy essay ye womu fumo essay ye because of sa issue no yes pele over no. Now they have promised a compensation be a hobiano womo be to me etia. 26 carry out a shake-up of all loss-making state-owned enterprises and realign them to break even and transition into profit-making. Very important.
Very important.
Agencies, you know, ebi wo ho no mo a esese ye keka de yeden edibom na afei yehude wa ye be realign no. So these are topmost 26 promises of John Dramani Mahama.
The first 120 days.
The first 120 days. And near money be one more person, one more young Jumano, and no. How many more you get? I'm Tio and I am caught by now. Brebre.
Now,
yes.
Adia watu boasi ya waka wasimi. Yako me say President Mahama holds the destiny of National Democratic Congress.
Yeah.
Sisi ameno kase. Adie ya waken kind sisi the next 50 years NDC life omu fate ejina Mahama so. If Mahama failed to say also oma NDC sa koye one term power, get one term power, they will never forgive him. It will only very careful, especially these promises. When your manifesto, this is captured in the manifesto, but a normal or so a bar within 120 days obey from the manifesto no, and work out some the chain. You see, over the years, my starting free the social intervention side. Over the years, we know say the two political parties here be leading here. OFA and NPP, they are giving you NIP and poverty alleviation, disability act, metro mass transit, free maternal care, national health insurance, school feeding programs. You understand? On and on and on. So many social intervention programs. Then NPPDA campaign say National Democratic Congress they don't have
any social intervention
program.
Yeah.
Before 2008 election. And the NDC came to spend 8 years. We did not see any social intervention program like Jamabo Bosono, President Mills and President Mahama. Then NPP came back and gave you the all-time best social intervention program in the history of Africa, which is the free senior high school.
Yeah.
And they are trolling them still say, Mutimi introduce a single social intervention program. Now when you watch the what also about 120 days now, and the manifesto now, who reading it clear, you see that it is being staffed with social intervention programs.
Yeah,
It is a official be implemented. Even 90 of them, they will use one. Say when to me, it will create a problem for the party. The 2028 election campaign has started today. It will start immediately. Mahama swears in because Kwame, and no matter what me ana me say, some of them he said it to woo votes because of your politics. You find the political science, you find the political opportunism. Well, who said call for Kasadi we say pa article 75 as gracia and a mood disca and NPCA or bas me scrap as gracia. Political opportunism. Oh, corruption. Me ba me set committee. You be sure sad we see. Oh, toe boot, toe red toe. Ye de fu an korani bi nipa ni bi akwatena fie omu sudi omo ye disable for no akwakota me ba me sad aba. That's a political opportunism. It is not bad. It is part of politics. Eka politics. It will be obeka so be sad bia. It is good. But Kwame, this country 2008 election, throughout the electionary campaign, there are some issues that NDC at the year campaign say South Kofono are corrupted this country. No, they will jail them, just like President Kofo jailed Victor Solomon, Agbodape, Kwampepra, and others. They replicate it. Now, Mr. Samuel Boatin and Zulika Lowry, the wife, on issue of a procurement, so Oma defrauded this country. Oma the court for 3 good years, they were exonerated. Ghana at 50 was a campaign to even Rollins said it, including Professor Mills. So Oba, they make sure that Ombe investigating Ghana at 50. Obi what this guy Ghana at 50 will be an. They make sure that people, some of will be jailed. Mr. Kodjon Pianim, any Rekubrebe Tazan were taken to, they set up a commission to investigate them. All of them were exonerated. You understand? Akoso say Rice Master issue by a former Josu MP doubled as a deputy foreign affairs minister and substantive minister. Rice Master issue, they were not able to do it. So NPP also capitalized on it. Say a catcher me say you're corrupt. They were not able to jail any of our people like President Kofo did to Agbodape, Kwampepra, all these things. This is a analysis here. A generic. This is not technical. I'm doing generic analysis. Say the bear who breaking down Kofo better say. So everything that President Mahama has said, you be investigation way, you be making sure say, one, it will be a problem. I'm telling you.
And just before we go, there's